Welcome to Virtue Vibes with Piyadigamage. I'm Piyadigamage, a teacher of English literature. Today I'm going to talk about a poem which we have taught in Sri Lankan context some years before. The poem is named as The Man He Killed. The Man He Killed by Thomas Hardy. Now, this is a war poem, comes under the category of war poem. Thomas Hardy is an English poet, a very renowned English poet of the Victorian era, and lived from 1840 to 1928. The title is The Man He Killed. Now this is a reflection of a soldier. The person of the poem is a soldier, common soldier. He reflects about killing of an enemy in the past time. But the title is set as The Man He Killed, not I Killed, because the poet doesn't like, or the person doesn't like to believe that he killed the man, not I killed, he killed. It is not myself, the circumstances. The circumstances made me a soldier and the soldier had to kill. In my heart, I don't like it. So that is what the idea, the title suggests. So in the poem, it's a dramatic monologue exploring the absurdity of war. The war is actually absurd. Even these days there are wars happening everywhere. So what is the absurdity there? Any soldier who kills his enemy has no personal grudge. Even in our country we had a war. I don't think any Sri Lankan soldier who fought in Jaffna had any personal grudge with that particular enemy whom he killed. And what is there for them to fight personally? They may not even know each other. But the circumstances made them kill each other. That is the terrible thing. Here a common soldier reflects on killing a man on the battlefield. He thinks, or he concludes that under different circumstances, they would have been friends, sharing a drink. So that highlights that war turns strangers into enemies for no personal reason. The first stanza I would like to talk. Had he and I but met, by some old ancient. Had he and I but met. This is a very nice grammatical construction the poet is using, remote possibility, conditional third time. Had he and I but met, the grammar suggests that he had not met this person before. If he had met, the things would have been different. Where he wanted to meet him? By some old ancient inn. If we had met like that, we should have sat down to wet a right many a nipaki. We should have sat us down to wet right a many nipakina. We should have sit down nicely and have a drink. Here, nipaki means a mug, beer mug. A mug used to drink beer. So we should have wet, that means we should have drink some beer mug. But unfortunately we met in different circumstances. But range, second stanza now I am. But range as infantry and staring face to face. Range as infantry. Infantry is in the army, the soldiers are being ranked at different level. Infantry means foot soldiers, fighting on the ground level. And staring face to face suggests as enemies. I met this man as an enemy. I was told that he was an enemy. So, when they meet in these circumstances on the battleground, nothing else to do. The poet says, I shot at him as he at me, and killed him in his place. I shot at him as he at me. So I shot at him, he would have also shot at me. So in the war, when you face to face met as enemies, those who become fast will survive. So he was fast, he shot at him first before the enemy shot at him, and killed in his place. Killed in his place is ambiguous. The line is ambiguous, it has two meanings. In his place means maybe on the spot. There was no chance of taking him to rescue. On the spot he was killed. The enemy was killed. The other thing is, in the army, that there is a chance of going higher and higher in the ranking. That also suggests, in a different poem I will speak that also done according to the killings that you are doing in the battlefield, the number of killings. So, they both met at each other as infantry soldiers, so he could not or was not able to go up in the rank, he was killed as a normal soldier. So that's the second meaning. I'm coming into the third stanza. Now, this is a reflection actually, a reflection of a soldier at his old age. All these soldiers, when they are in the battlefield, they think that they are the heroes. But at the old age, like me, when they think back, they will understand the foolishness they have done. Right? So now this particular persona is also like that. He is reflecting the past. I shot him dead because he is trying to find out a reason. Why should I kill him? Because, in the second line also, because it's repeated, that repetition suggests that a reason doesn't come to him at once. There's no reason. Because he was my foe, that's right. He was my foe, F-O-E, my enemy. He was my enemy. Just so. Nothing else. My foe, of course he was. So second time also he says, my foe, of course he was. He was trying to satisfy his mind, isn't it? He's trying to reasonalize his killing. Rationalize it. He was my foe, so when I met my foe, I should have killed him. And I did that. That's clear enough, although. And that although is very interesting. The last line said that's clear enough, although. That although suggests no. There must be some other thing. Although suggests that I did a bad thing. You see. God gave next answer. He thought he would list perhaps offhand like just as I. He thought he would list. The word he'd list in the stanza, he apostrophe D, that means he would, again apostrophe list. The word enlist has been shortened by the poet Thomas Hardy as list, perhaps. So, when you are recruited in the army or when you join the army as soldier, it is called enlisted, right? He is enlisted in the army. So, this person think about, he thought he would list perhaps why? Perhaps he is trying to find out reason. Offhand, like just as I am. Offhand means out of job. Didn't have any job to do. Offhand. Just as I was also similar. The person was also similar. That means he also had joined the army not because of any sort of patriotic feeling, just because he didn't have any job. Not to save the country, not to save the nation, or anything else, just because he didn't have a job. And the enemy would have been the same. He didn't have a job. Had solved his traps. That's idiomatic. Had solved his traps means he had tried many things and finished. Couldn't. I mean, they were not succeeded. Must have done some more ways and means to find a job, find earning, but he was failed. And the easiest thing was to join the army. You don't need any education or anything, only the strength, physical strength. No other reason why. So there is no other reason that that I can think, the person says. Yes. So this is the concluding stanza or the last stanza. Yes, quaint and curious the war is. Yes, quaint and curious the war is. Very interesting definition is given for the war by Thomas Hardy. Quaint and curious, Q-U-A-I-N-T, quaint. Strange, cannot understand. Curious is the same. War is. So war is a very strange, very absurd matter. Useless. You shoot a fellow down. So this is what is happening here. You shoot a fellow down. You treat if met where anybody is. So you treat him differently if you meet in a bar. Now the person must be fond of drinking. That's why he always takes the bar as an example. You treat if met where anybody. In a bar, when you meet a person, if a person comes and sits down in front of you, you don't need to ask his person name or address or whatever it is. You are just friends at the bar. So, would I have treated, would I have offered a drink or helped to half a cup? I would have offered him a drink or I would have given him some money to buy a drink. Half a crown is that. Crown is a sort of money. I would have helped to half a crown. So this is what is happening in war, especially in the Sri Lankan war, between the Tamils and the Sinhalese. This is what has happened. And there was no any personal matters. I have many friends, many Tamil friends. They are very good people. They have saved me several times even. But at the war front, luckily I didn't go for the war, but at the war front, the Sinhalese and Tamils killed each other, useless. Even in other countries, the war is useless. War doesn't give you anything, only repentance at the old age. So, we will meet with another poem another day. Thank you very much for listening.